Patrik Allvin and management head into an offseason looking for Rick Tocchet's replacement as we get huge reports coming out from NHL insiders linking the Vancouver Canucks to the perfect coach that would change everything for this team heading into the future. We're going to break down this coach, his coaching resume, and everything you need to know later on this episode. Before we get into that, if you're enjoying this daily Canucks content and you want to stay up to date on everything to do around the Vancouver Canucks, go down and hit that free subscribe button. It's completely free. You help us out a bunch, and in return, we'll keep you up to date on everything to do around the team during this hectic offseason. Well, let's just hop straight into the first topic today, where we do know the Vancouver Canucks are actively looking for their head coaching role after Rick Tocchet left the team and is sadly apparently interviewing with Seattle. But getting into the reports, we can see among the different names the Canucks have spoken to about the head coaching position, believes Marco Sturm has been interviewed, has been the head coach of the Ontario Reign for the last 3 seasons. Now, I know a lot of people look at this and say, hey, we don't want an AHL coach. We want to go out and get someone like Peter Laviolette, which in my opinion would be one of the worst decisions ever if you look at his resume with the New York Rangers, burying a lot of young guys, not having trust in his players. This is not what the Vancouver Canucks need to come in. But a lot of guys starting the AHL, and Elliotte Friedman continues on to speak on Sturm during his 32 Thoughts podcast. He said, here's the reasons I think that's an interesting name. Number one, he wants to make the jump. He's very interested in making the jump from the AHL to the NHL. Now, going into Sturm, we can see he spent 4 seasons as an assistant coach in the NHL with the LA Kings from 2018 all the way to 2022. He continued on to take over as a head coach with the Ontario Reign, qualifying in round 1, lost in round 2, but looking through his seasons, he has been quite successful as a head coach. And yes, I understand this needs to translate to the NHL level. But as you get into more details on this guy, everything is lining up to looking like a perfect candidate. Now, Elliotte continues on. Secondly, he fits the profile of a guy who would be very happy to be the head coach of the Vancouver Canucks. Now, a lot of the media is going to come out and tell you that coaches don't want to coach in Vancouver, and that is not true. It's a beautiful city, and we've seen a lot of coaches come through and want to stay. Yes, Rick Tocchet wanted to leave. Yes, he is currently looking like he could be interviewing right now with Seattle. But as of this moment, a lot of coaches are going to be lined up coming into this position. And it seems like Sturm is a guy that really wants to get into a position of an NHL head coach. And it seems like the Canucks may be the perfect fit at this point. A guy who may not be at the top of any list, but a guy who's ambitious, a guy who understands players, a guy who has respects him. He's got a good reputation. Bringing someone in to this Canucks roster with a good reputation, a reputation to show that he has an open door policy. I'm going to link the entire article down below on Sturm, but this guy has been a player's coach, and it really shows the impact he has on a lot of guys. I'm going to put all this down below. Dennis Seidenberg, someone that has played in the NHL, and you definitely know his name, went out and said it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when he becomes an NHL head coach. And it has shown through all his levels of an assistant coach in the NHL, a NHL or AHL head coach. We also see him going into Germany's Olympic team as the head coach, winning a silver medal in 2018. Sturm has coached the AHL Reign for 3 years, 4 years as an assistant coach, an Olympic team as well. He also played for the Vancouver Canucks 6 games. He had a cup of coffee here, but that's besides the point. 938 games. This guy has been at every level possible, minus the head coaching job of an NHL team. Elliotte Friedman also said he wouldn't be surprised if Sturm was on the Bruins' radar as they continue the search for their coach. Would it be poetic stealing the Bruins' next candidate for their head coach and bringing them to Vancouver? Looking at what they did with Lindholm and Zadorov, those contracts not looking great, but Sturm could come in and change the game for the Canucks. But looking at some players speaking out, Thomas, a player of Ontario Reign, said, I think he's gotten that respect from everyone on the team. That's why I think we've got great buy-in from everyone. Everyone's wanting to do whatever they need to do for the best of this team. Now, this quote was awesome to see of a player playing under Sturm as well. This Canucks team needs a full buy-in. Yes, we need PD to buy in a workout training coming into the season. We need a full lineup of players bought into a system, which we didn't really see under Rick Tocchet, and that's not hating on Tocchet. I think Tocchet has great flashes from his coach in the NHL with the Vancouver Canucks, but Sturm could bring offense to this team, bring a new coaching style that maybe is what the Vancouver Canucks really truly needed at this point. Now, looking at this, a lot of people are going to say, why are you showing us Jack Adams finalists? Why does this matter? But looking at this list as well, we can see Spencer Carberry, because I know all the comments are going to say, we don't want an AHL head coach. He didn't have any experience, but Spencer Carberry was in this exact position, but a bit opposite. With the Hershey Bears, he was a head coach for 3 seasons, joining the Toronto Maple Leafs as an assistant coach before jumping into the Washington Capitals as the head coaching job. Players and coaches have to start from somewhere, and an AHL coach coming in to take over the Vancouver Canucks' next head coaching job is not a bad thing. 2 years in to his head coaching job, we see a finalist in Spencer Carberry. The Capitals, I believe, are 1-1 in their series right now versus Carolina in the second round, which is outstanding for a guy that lacked experience coming through. I mean, looking at the list of guys that really started in the AHL, working their way up. Bruce, everyone loves Bruce in Vancouver. Bruce Cassidy as well. Peter Laviolette, which, like I said, I think would be a terrible idea. John Tortorella, Barry Trotz. There is a lot of high name recognition on this list who all started out as the AHL coaches working their way in. You need to start somewhere, and I think this is where the Vancouver Canucks have the perfect opportunity. You have this team. You have to construct a new roster, bring in a new coach. He's going to want to change things up as well. It's a different system, a different play style. Changes are going to happen, but I think Sturm coming in as his first cup of coffee in the NHL as a head coach for the Vancouver Canucks would be perfect. Now listen, with this roster, and before I get into this, what is your guys' thoughts on Sturm coming in as a possible coach? You think the resume is there as a AHL coach, as an NHL assistant, going as far as an Olympic head coach, winning the silver medal with Germany as well? I think it's a perfect opportunity and a lot better than a lot of coaches that are being floated around right now. They're going to do their due diligence. They're going to go through players. Manny Malhotra is a name that has popped up a lot. But with Manny Malhotra, I don't know if his experience is there as a first-year head coach in the AHL. We've seen him as an assistant coach, but it would be nice to get him in a few more seasons as a coach in the AHL, or maybe they're just waiting for the Abbey Canucks season to be over. But looking at the roster, there is going to be some changes coming into next season. This always happens with a new coach. We see coaching styles come in, they want to change things up, get heavier, get faster, get younger, whatever it might be. This Canucks team is in the position to make things work. I mean, right now, second line center, we don't know what's happening here. The Canucks have been linked to Rossi. You could see Suter come back. Who really knows at this point down the middle? We just know Jim is going to make a trade for one. On the right wing, Brock Boeser is a name that does continue to pop up as someone the Canucks are going to re-sign. And as much as I hope this happens, it's not a certain. So this team does have the wiggle room to make some changes on defense. You're pretty much set and solidified back there for the next couple of seasons. But what is your guys' thoughts? Would you rather bring in a faster paced coach, a coach that's going to really focus on offense, let his assistant coach deal with the defense, and maybe construct this as a more fast paced, high scoring roster, kind of like we've seen this Canucks team do before, where we've seen Petey really thrive in a system? I know a lot of people hate Pettersson, and I would disagree with this as well, but I do think getting him into a position where he can succeed is the number one priority for this Vancouver Canucks team. But what is your guys' thoughts on this? I know it's a lot to take in. I know there's a lot of coaches being linked to the team. Go down and leave a comment down below on all your thoughts on this video. Way down there, leave a like, subscribe, share this with your friends. We'll be back with another episode, so keep your eye out for that. But I've been your host, Mark Pye, and take care.